Oh, hello there. I was catching up on a little bit of reading. I was reading this book called Deep Focus Reflections on Cinema. It is a deep dive into the filmography of one of Bengal's most popular and treasured directors of all time, Satyajit Ray. It is a very interesting book and it has a lot of information of how movies were filmed back then and how many limitations Ray and his crew had to get a project done. It's a very good and unique book, and if you are interested in filmmaking and the philosophy of directors and writers, and you are interested in how a film or a project like this is done, then you should definitely check it out. Anyways, let's talk about war criminals from space. Robot war criminals. Transformers! I love them, you love them. I hope. Transformers is one of the most iconic and recognizable kids franchises of all time. Even people who haven't watched the shows or any of the movies know what it's all about. I mean, come on, even you know what it's about. The good guy Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Oh shit, they actually told the entire plot in the song. Go figure. Transformers has gone on to have one of the biggest and dedicated fan base of all time. So there's no wonder that we have so many shows with Optimum Pride and megatron. In the early 2000s, there were plans to make a Transformers movie which came into fruition in 2007. Hey, I was 1 year old when that happened. So of course, there was no way this was going to flop. I mean, the concept is so simple, how can they fuck it up?
Hi, I'm Michael Bay, director of Hollywood hits such as Transformers.
But before we get started, here's a quick message from our sponsor of today's video. Oh wait, I don't have a sponsor. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Imagine yourself as a Hasbro executive back in the 2000s. You like money. And you're currently not making any of it. Toy sales were down, there weren't any good shows at the time, so you've got to do something and you have to do it now before you go bankrupt. So, would you A. give a shit ton of money to a fucking lunatic who is high off of his ass to make a Transformers movie, or B. why am I even giving you a second option? You know what they did, you know what they fucking did. And thus, the Bayformers franchise was born. For better and for worse.
I am directly below. Enemy scrotum.
Mainly for the worse. The Michael Bay Transformers movies, the Bayformers as we lovingly call it. What can I say about these movies? You already know how weird and bizarrely sexually undertoned these movies are. Like, seriously, you rewatch a lot of scenes. Someone was definitely watching porn while writing the script. Now, it's no secret that these movies are not really beloved by anyone, not even by a lot of fans of Transformers. Critics hate it, fans hate it, the general public hates it, but they still made a lot of money somehow, and they kept making more before they finally shit their pants so hard that they had to reboot the entire franchise. Now, with the release of the latest film, Rise of the Beasts, which is hopefully good, I decided to rewatch a lot of these old Bayformers, and I realized something very strange. The Bayformers is a very unique franchise, and the reason I say that is because back when they were coming out, when they were being released, they were considered as kids film. Well, not even kids film, because these have some really brutal scenes in them, like super full-on violent, cold-blooded murder scenes, but on robots, so it's fine. No, the reason I'm calling these unique is that even though people hated them when they were coming out and even made fun of it, but now it seems people like most of these movies, and look back at this franchise rather fondly. Okay, before we move any further, let's get one thing straight. These movies are dumb. Like we all agree upon that. They're meant for simple entertainment that amuses you for a few hours, and then you probably forget about it or obsess over it for years and years and years, forcing your parents to buy cheaply produced plastic pieces of shit with their own hard-earned money, like the ungrateful freeloader that you are. But then again, I wouldn't know anything about that. It's not like I do that. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, space robots. So as you probably realized by now, I am a huge fan of these movies. Will I defend them? Of course. Are any of these good? Like remotely good? No. Are you mad? They're Michael Bay films. Why would you even think that any of these would be masterpieces worthy of Michael Scorsese's proof of approval? But it doesn't have to. And that's fine. But hey, let's not waste any more time and talk about Transformers. Okay, I'll try to condense the plot as good as I can. So the movie begins with a cube floating in space while Optimus Prime gives us the backstory to their homeworld. We then see a robot Red Skull crash landed on Earth, scratched an old man's glasses, and decided to fuck off for the time being. Cut to the distant future of 2007, where we meet the old man's great-great-grandson, Sam Witwicky. We see that Sam is selling his ancestors' busted-ass glasses on eBay because of course he is. Sam is a nerd and a social outcast because the movie says so. He's also horny for Megan Fox. Now, in his defense, I was too. Anyways, Sam buys a yellow car and begins to woo Megan Fox. How he does that is beyond me. But Sam's normal life is interrupted when this thing shows up. Why, hello, kind sir. Would you please tell us what your name is? Ah, Barricade. Okay, that's good. So Barricade here was sent to interrogate Sam on where the glasses are, because Megatron for some reason scratched the coordinates of the Allspark on the glasses. Why? You know what, we have 4 more of these things to get through, so let's keep going. Since Barricade is not from Earth, he can't tell the difference between colors and thinks Sam is black. So naturally, he tries to kill him. But luckily, Sam's car shows up to save him from racial profiling. And also Megan Fox is there for some reason. Anyways, we go to a junkyard later that day, where we get our first proper look at this movie's version of Bumblebee. A design that has stuck with the character for the rest of eternity. Bumblebee does a little bit of product placement before we meet the rest of the Autobots. Then the other Autobots land on Earth all naked and... Oh god, that looks awful. Put some clothes on, man. Ah, that's way better. And we finally have the Autobots all together for the first time. Everyone's here. There's Optimus, Ironhide, Ratchet, and Jazz. Jazz dies at the end. So Prime tells them that there was a war on their home planet Cybertron, which the Decepticons won. They tell him that the glasses his ancestor had has the map to the cube, or as they call it, the Allspark, the source to their life. They go to Sam's house and for some reason, instead of transforming into cars, they fuck around. Anyways, agents show up to Sam's house after figuring out he has 16 terabytes of lolly hentai and arrest him. But fear not, the Autobots show up to save him.
Bumblebee.
Anyways, they capture Bumblebee and a lot of shit happens. Megatron decides to wake up. We finally get to see the other Decepticons. Anyways, you know what happens. It's a Michael Bay movie, so like explosions, boobs and explosions, giant robots, buildings get destroyed. What else? Oh yeah, Sam penetrates Megatron. And that's it. Megatron dies, he gets dropped into the ocean. The Autobots are pretty much stuck on this planet. And they decide to join forces with the humans to protect them because we are literally awful at doing that. The end. Now, I've been making a lot of jokes during this totally, absolutely correct summary of the movie. There's no need to check if I'm right. I genuinely think this is a good movie. No, I'm not joking. This is a very good, competently made classic movie, actually. It's a product of a bygone era of filmmaking where, people actually put effort and cared about movies and how it will turn out. Is it perfect? No, of course not. But I love it. And so do a lot of Transformers fans. In fact, I think this is probably the only Bayformers movie that everyone agrees is actually pretty good. So yeah, in conclusion, I really love this movie.
We are here. We are waiting.
What a great experience. I thought I would not like this one as much as I did when I was a kid, but I was shocked to see how wrong I was. And considering how good this one was, the sequel must be just as great. Transformers Fallen of the Revenge, or whatever the the title is. This was apparently written during the 2009 writer's strike, which I think they said as an excuse of why the movie turned out the way it is. But I'm gonna take a small guess and say that even if they had time to write the script, we wouldn't have gotten anything better than this. Oh yeah, the plot. The plot is pretty much what the first movie was. The Autobots find out something important to Cybertron or something. The Decepticons wanted to destroy Earth, and there's humans, unfortunately, in this one. Instead of the cube, they want the matrix of leadership. For those of you who don't know, a matrix of leadership is an object that makes the Prime who they are. And in this movie, it's also key to activate a weapon that will turn the sun into energy. Those are two quite different purposes for one object to have. In this movie, they bring back Megatron, who looks pretty good actually. The redesign isn't all that bad. And we get to see Megatron's mentor, who is the main villain of this movie. What does he do? He sits around and does nothing. See guys, Thanos totally copied this guy. Except Thanos was actually a good villain. Anyways, the Autobots learn about this fallen guy and they have no idea who he is. Except for Optimus, I guess, because in the beginning of the movie, he talks about how they were told a false history of how the first movie was when the Transformers first came to Earth. But no, apparently they came during the Stone Age. And also built the pyramids of Giza. Anyways, Optimus gets killed by Megatron. And for the rest of the movie, that's it. Probably the only character, aside from Bumblebee, that the audience came to see is just there. He's just there. He's lying there. He literally has to be dragged to the final act of the movie. What a letdown. Oh yeah, and also Sam's going to college, which is important. Now, the Autobots are devastated at the death of their leader. But fear not, children. Optimus Prime can't stay dead for long in a Transformers movie. Most of the time. As it turns out that Sam has found the location of a plot device, the matrix of leadership or whatever, I guess. After a bunch of nonsense, Sam, his girlfriend, and this cum stain decide to find a way to revive Prime. And they also get help from John Turturro, the best character from the last movie. Together, our team of dumbasses end up in Egypt and look for the important thing. Anyways, the fight happens. Prime decides to finally wake up from his nap and stops fucking around and rips off the Fallen's face. Anyways, the day is saved. Prime gives another speech because we can't have a sequel unless it's exactly like the first one. And the movie ends with another Linkin Park song, which it's not as great as What Have I Done, but it's still pretty good. And the movie's over. So the last movie was actually genuinely good. It had a decent writing. The human characters were tolerable. The designs of the Transformers wasn't actually that bad. In the second movie, we have only one good design, that's Sideswipe. And that's only because he has wheels for legs.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that?
Everything else is dog shit.
Mojo, no dominating Frankie.
Did you know this movie had 4 producers? Which means that all 4 of them had to have watched the finished product. And they said, yeah, of course we can show it in the theaters. What are you talking about? Anyways, the movie sucks. The song's good. The action is still pretty great. And the Fallen looks like dog shit. The moon landing was fake. Sort of. We did go to the moon, but for a completely different reason. Because you see, NASA discovers something strange on the dark side of the moon, which turned out to be a Cybertronian ship. In the present day, the Autobots are still allied with the humans and help them in their day-to-day missions. And also attack Iran for them. Anyways, while on a mission, Prime comes across this friendly-looking guy and learns about the Autobot ship on Moon. They go there and find Optimus's old mentor, Sentinel Prime, and a bunch of pillars, which will be much more important in the third act. Meanwhile, this is happening, the Decepticons are killing our former NASA employees for a reason that we don't know yet. The human storyline in this one is actually really good. Basically, the main gist of the story is slowly uncovering this lunar conspiracy and trying to figure out why the space program was shut down after the Apollo mission. Honestly, I really love this storyline and it's a very well-crafted mystery. Sam is a completely changed man in this movie and he is much more competent than he was in the first and second movie. And of course, we can't have a great Transformers movie without John Turturro. Enjoy it while you can. This was his last prominent role in this franchise. Soon enough, we find out that the Decepticons are planning to use the pillars to bring Cybertron to Earth and turn Earth into Cybertron. Anyway, so Sentinel turns out to be a twist villain and kills Ironhide. The Decepticons then make an offer that if the Autobots leave Earth, they will not harm the humans. So the US government tells the Autobots to go back to their planet. Upon leaving the atmosphere, they are shot down by Starscream. Oh no, I can't believe they killed out the Autobots. How are they going to finish this trilogy off without our main characters? I wonder. The US government then learns a lesson that it's probably not that good to trust people who are called Decepticons. You know, deception. So the climax of the movie takes place in Chicago and oh look, the Autobots are back. What a twist.
Optimus!
Anyways, Sentinel rips off Optimus's hand, but Megatron realizes that he misses his ex too much and comes to his rescue.
We were gods once, all of us. But here, please, there will only be one. This is my planet.
So, how does Optimus repay this favor? By ripping his goddamn head off, that's how.
No, fuck! No, Optimus, no, please! Fuck! No, no, please! Please, Optimus! No, please! Ah, no, Optimus, please! Fuck!
Anyways, the day is saved. Optimus gives another speech of how the humans are such great people and they will totally not betray them in the next one. 100% sure. Like, no way they're going to betray them. So, here's the secret. I actually like this movie. Don't get me wrong. It has a lot of problems, a lot of flaws, but I do think this is a great final chapter to the Bayformers trilogy. This was the first Transformers movie I ever saw, and it has a special place in my heart. Oh, and also the violence. The violence is mainly the thing that I like the most about this movie. Well, that was one hell of a ride. No matter what your thoughts are on these movies, you have to admit, they are quite unique. And if they wanted, they could have made 2 more movies and ruined the symmetry of this trilogy. But they didn't. This trilogy is not perfect. Not in the slightest. But it's still complete. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it wraps up this story nice and clean. Transformers Age of Extinction is a movie that exists. God fucking damn it. So Bay said that Dark of the Moon was going to be his last one. Well, that turned out to be a fucking lie, didn't it? So even though critics didn't like Dark of the Moon, it still made a shit ton of money. So of course, Hasbro wanted another one with or without Bay. There were talks about other directors since Bay specifically said that he was not making another one. Then one day, Bay woke up and said, "Say, what if I did it again? But worse. Like way, way, way worse." And thus, this was born. A 2 hour of nothingness.
What is that? Look like a missile.
God, I actually miss Sam. We have a different cast of humans in this one, but if you thought that is a good thing, it's not. It's not.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 2705-3.
What? Texas statute?
So he was 18 when she was 14? That's fucked up, man! The humans hate Transformers now. Gee, I wonder why. The CIA has a group to kill the remaining Decepticons, but they kill the Autobots as well, without the CIA knowing that they did? Wait, so the US government wiped out the entire Autobot group accidentally. Somehow that's the most realistic part of this movie. So aside from Optimus and Bumblebee, of course, we have no other returning characters. We have a completely different cast of Autobots, and none of them are good. The Autobots weren't that interesting in the first movie, but they were still fun to watch. Here? Fuck no. Drift looks cool but does jack shit. Crosshairs has a good design, but he's a fucking prick to everyone. Hound is kinda fun to watch, but that's it. Bumblebee is there, I guess. And Optimus. Poor Optimus. This man has been through so much bullshit that he just said fuck it, and is now homicidal 24/7. Megatron's back in this one. He's called Galvatron and he looks like shit, and that's about it. Okay, we do have one entertaining villain in this movie, and that is Lockdown, the main antagonist of the movie. But aside from that, this movie is a bunch of half measures. The concept of the Autobots being hunted by the government is a very good idea, and I would actually love to see another movie or show to do this concept, except do it well, because even though this movie starts out with that plot, it drops it pretty quickly. The last half of this movie is keeping this thing called the seed out of Galvatron's hands, who wants to do something with it. I don't know. The Dinobots are here for about 10 minutes, but they're still here, so that's cool. Anyways, Optimus kills the evil CIA guy for killing Ratchet, and then goes to Cybertron and the movie's over. Man, what a letdown. This movie is just... I don't even know, it's such a nothing movie. It leaves no impact, even though it really should. So many of the fan favorites get killed off in this movie. Off screen, we learn about this creator who wants Optimus back. The Autobots are basically war criminals now and have to hide from the government, but it just feels so empty. The action sequences are still fun, and Mark Wahlberg is the only tolerable human character in this movie, but yeah, that's it. Well, this movie is not good, and trust me, it's not good. I'm not exaggerating, it's not good. But remember kids, it can always get worse. And it did. Transformers: The Last Night is the last Michael Bay directed movie and the last one we're going to take a look at today. Oh yeah, the plot. Yeah, the plot is... Yeah, I don't have a clue. No, this isn't a bit or a joke. I genuinely don't know what the fuck is going on. I had to watch this shit 5 fucking times for this video, and I still don't know what the hell happened in this thing. Alright, hold on. I need to write this shit down. Alright, let me get a pen. A pencil will do. Man, what am I doing with my life? I should be studying for my board exams, and here I am talking about space robots. No wonder my parents are disappointed in me.
2 hours later.
Okay, so after watching this movie for 3 more times, I'm not joking, this isn't a joke, I actually had to watch it 3 times to wrap my head around this thing. The plot... Or plots, yes, plural, they are. The first plot is about the TRF, or the Transformers Reaction Force. Basically, this one is a replacement for the previous film, Cemetery Wind. This one is actually government funded, which means we actually get to see some reoccurring characters, like Captain Lennox, who was in the first 3 movies. So TRF basically takes out any and all Transformers, but they also make a deal with Megatron? Did you not learn anything from Chicago? What the hell?
What do you really want, Megatron?
What anyone wants, human. To go home.
Sure, go ahead, make a deal with him. Give him some allies. It's not like he's going to fucking kill you. Mark Wahlberg's back in this one, and I actually kind of like him more than I did in the last one. He isn't as bad as he was in the last movie, and these 2 cum stains were thankfully removed. But don't worry, we get plenty more. Like this librarian lady, who's a love interest for Mark Wahlberg, I guess. Oh, and also she's the descendant of Merlin. No, not the marketable one, this guy. Then let's talk about the second plot. because one wasn't enough. The second plot is about dragons and magic, I guess. Basically, the second plot deals with medieval knights and how they allied with transformers back in the day to win a battle. And also there are dragons. The last movie had dinosaurs in it, so why not put dragons in this one? I mean, it's not like we have to make sense of anything. Who cares about consistency? Who cares? Okay, so there are ancient Transformer knights now, I guess, and Optimus is also a knight, and Megatron is also a knight. Oh, well, by the way, Megatron is back in this movie. How did he go from this to this? I don't know, but hey, at least the design is actually good. Then there's plot 3, which is the Autobots hanging out with Marky Mark, who gets invited to England by Anthony Hopkins. Oh, by the way, Anthony Hopkins is in this movie, thus continuing the trend of these movies having Oscar-caliber actors and actresses and completely wasting their talent. Then we have plot 4, which picks up from the ending of the last movie where Optimus fucks off in space to look for this quote-unquote creator. Well, turns out that creator is this space witch. Cool. She wants this thing called the staff, which can do things. Yeah, I don't know. Why does she want the stuff? You know what? Who gives a shit? Does it sound like that I don't really care about what I'm talking about? Good, the writers didn't either. So, there's this thing about the Pangea supercontinent. Marky Mark's getting lucky tonight. The Autobots still hate each other. At least we have a good Decepticon group this time. They suck ass, but at least we have a group of villains this time, and they talk! You know, one of the main things a character does. Okay, so a bunch of things happen. Optimus becomes evil. His eyes turn purple. He gets a tattoo on his face. Okay, cool. This part they use in the trailer to make everyone think that Optimus is about to kill Bumblebee. Bullshit. The knights show up. Yeah, I'm already starting to get confused what the hell is happening. Okay, so basically in the climax, Anthony Hopkins gets killed by Megatron. This space witch lady uses the staff to bring Cybertron here, which is somehow larger than it was in Dark of the Moon. Oh, and also the Earth is Unicron, because why not have 6,000 plots in one movie? It's not like it has to make sense or anything. So, evil space witch lady gets killed, or maybe not, who cares? Megatron gets kicked out of the ship. Optimus is good now. He gives another bullshit speech at the end of the movie, and yeah, that's it. That's it. That's how this entire series of films end. Like, there was... Who wrote this? Who wrote this? If you couldn't really tell, I am not a huge fan of this movie. It gets on my nerves. It's just so infuriating to talk about. The characters still suck. Half of them are either boring or infuriating and get on my fucking nerves. The dialogue is something I could come up with within 6 seconds, which, you know, is not really a good sign when you're making a big blockbuster Hollywood movie. But sure, whatever. Anthony Hopkins is really good, even though he has no idea what the hell is going on. And the effects are still good. I mean, it's a Transformers movie, so of course the effects would still be good. But yeah, that's about it. It has every single problem the previous 4 movies did, except somehow worse, and one more problem that completely kills any little bit of enjoyment you could have had with this movie: the editing. The editing for this movie is abysmal. Like, every 6 seconds they cut to another angle, and if that wasn't bad enough, if that wasn't confusing enough, the fucking aspect ratio keeps changing. Usually movies which are shot with IMAX cameras, you have these bars throughout a majority of the movie. Whenever you have a big action sequences, these bars retract to make you fully immerse yourself in the action scene. This movie, every 3 frames, the aspect ratio changes and it fries your brain. It makes the movie watching process really difficult. You know, now I understand why he couldn't make heads or tails of this movie. It's not that the plot is complex and confusing, it's just that I can't fucking make out what is happening! What is going on? Please, someone help, please! Please, I need to finish this video. I have to go back to my normal life, please! Just like the previous 3 movies, critics didn't really like this one, nor did the general public, but that is nothing new with this franchise. Except for one little itty bitty thing. The movie bombed so hard that all plans for a sequel were scrapped. They were going to make a prequel to this movie where they were going to show the rivalry between Bumblebee and Barricade, and it was going to take place in World War II. But after the failure of this movie, it got changed into the now spin-off prequel reboot thing, Bumblebee. As much as I don't like this movie, it's a shame that this franchise had to end like this. It started out promisingly big, bombastic, confident in itself, but ended up as a drunken idiot who is the butt of the joke. What a shame. Okay, I've reviewed all of these movies.